Do you desire to turn your passion into income? Connect with other creative souls who also dance to the beat of their own drum? I'm Marie-Nicole, and I'm devoted to combining beauty, uniqueness, and connection in everyday living experiences. As a creative professional and Dharma coach, I help people connect to the truth of who they are and facilitate them in embodying their uniqueness. It is my hope in this podcast that I inspire you to live your life on your terms and earn your income through being uniquely you. After all, it's the unique thread that we each contribute to the collective tapestry that creates the whole. Do you ever wonder if what you do truly offers value to the collective? Enough to get paid to do what you do as your main income stream? A couple of weekends ago, I had the pleasure of being invited to attend a Creatives Recharge Retreat, which was put on by Southern Tablelands Arts, an organisation that supports, creates, educates and advocates for the arts in our region. This weekend retreat was the finale event of their peer-to-peer mentoring program. Before I tell you more about that experience and the thoughts that it has triggered since, I'd like to tell you about a couple of services I am providing to support business owners. Firstly, one-to-one ad hoc business and wellness coaching, which can be supportive to you on your journey right now, especially if you are feeling a sense of overwhelm, and could do with someone coaching you through the process of what next steps to take once you reconnect to what you'd like to focus on introducing or reintroducing into your life, while balancing other commitments in business and life in general. This service is currently being supported by the Rural Woman and is $121, including GST, for a 1-hour session. It does not require a long-term commitment and you will not be locked into a contract. Another option for support in reducing overwhelm when it comes to your business's digital presence is through a government-funded initiative serving small and micro business owners. If you are in New South Wales or the ACT in Australia, have an ABN, run a for-profit micro or small business, even if you're just starting out, for a small fee of $45 plus GST, when you select the All Access option, you can receive up to 4 hours of one-to-one coaching, focusing specifically on your needs in the digital space. By signing up to the program through my affiliate link and choosing the All Access option, you'll be supporting the production of this podcast, as I will receive a small fee for bringing you into the program. The ad hoc coaching and digital guide coaching options are great ways to get a taste of how working with a coach can help elevate you out of a dip, so you can make your way up to that next peak in your business journey, focusing specifically on your needs, wants and desires. To book an ad hoc session or register for the Digital Solutions program, simply click on the links provided in the show notes. Now for today's episode, sharing the insights and inspirations that transpired from the Creatives Recharge Retreat experience. That weekend consisted of time to connect, engage in activities, or simply retreat in whichever way served participants best, with 3 main activities offered. The first being a First Nations weaving workshop, guided by inspiring artist Jodie Monday, an open mic night, emceed by talented musician Garth Prentice, and a Waste 2 art workshop by resourceful sculptor Alpha Mister. The magic that took place over that weekend is not easy to describe in words. It really was more something to experience. I was honoured to be included in the event, as I wasn't a part of the peer-to-peer mentoring program, but I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to immerse myself in the learning weaving with raffia. This is my little sweet creation that I made that weekend. For those not watching the YouTube version, I'll try and describe it to you. It's like a flat basket. It's a flat little basket which I can place my rings in when I'm not wearing them. And as someone who's an avid handcrafter, I found this activity very therapeutic. And the fact that it took me hours to complete this little piece, it also gave me a new appreciation for what goes into this craft. And that was only the weaving. not even gathering, stripping, drying and dyeing the strands of fibre, which is a part of the overall process too. I also thoroughly enjoyed absorbing the talent shared by others through the open mic night, observing all the gifted guitarists playing the same instrument in various ways and all in one setting, showcasing just how diverse music making is. Not to mention all the other captivating performances showcased that night. There was such a wide range, from a playwright, script reading, poetry, accordion playing, to classical singing, and so much more. The night ended with all these skills and talents uniting to create the most magical sing-along experience for us all to join in and enjoy. Following this late night of laughter and love shared through artistic expression, the next morning was spent approaching waste materials with childlike curiosity, creating our own unique sculptural piece from an array of what would be commonly seen as rubbish. It was fascinating to observe how each participant approached the task, some having an object they wished to create in mind, then scouring through the materials available to realise their vision, others piecing together objects and seeing what evolved. My approach was to let pieces speak to me first, as I scanned the tubs of pieces, and then I sat with them for a while, allowing them to reveal to me what they wish to transform into in their next iteration of their material existence. Eventually, a little throne started to emerge from my collection of bits. And for those not watching the video version, I'm currently holding up the end result of my collection of brass and copper elements, forming what looks like a little throne of torture, or one that invokes the connection to higher consciousness. I could have spent many more hours perfecting my little brass throne, but instead I've allowed what transpired to remain and have only made minor adjustments to it since bringing it home. The experience of that weekend and the conversation shared amongst creative professionals really got me thinking about what the role creatives play in the collective and how undervalued the industry of the art seems to be here in Australia. While many enjoy a magical festival experience, a transformative journey through operatic performance, through provoking poetry or playwright, a captivating piece of art or song that makes you sing, dance, cry, or laugh yourself to tears, it made my heart ache to hear the challenges so many face with funding their craft and getting it to the point of being able to share it with the collective. The role creativity plays in our existence is recognised as therapeutic, which it is, and yet it also seems to be seen as a luxury, rather than valued for what it inspires and ignites in all involved, which is a sensory and emotional experience that reminds us of what makes life so magical. The expression of self shared with others, the appreciation and admiration of that expression, not to mention the connection that is created through the engagement of creativity in all forms. It is a shame to hear so much angst around funding cuts taking place and further cuts to come. As someone who has self-funded my creative pursuits and tried to find ways to support others in using their talents, which is their gift to the collective, I myself am in a position where the need to earn a living to pay for basic needs is currently taking away from me sharing more of my creative gifts and talents. Instead, directing my creativity more into the business side of things than making of items that contribute to the experience of everyday living, which I used to do a lot of. There were so many questions that came to mind over that weekend about what it is our culture is in support of and what is deemed less worthy of support. A few months back, I was in a cafe working and heard a strong negative remark made about the price of a handcrafted cup. The person seemed not to see the value in a cup that was meticulously crafted by a maker who spends most of their time sitting over a potter's wheel perfecting their craft fulfilling their passion, yes, but also for the user to receive the energy of that passion and the pleasure of sipping their beverage in a thoughtfully crafted cup that feels beautiful to the touch and adds to the experience of drinking that beverage, which is exactly what led the patron to go to the shelf where the cups were displayed for sale. And yet, the price, which was not over the top, for the hours of work that one maker has put into perfecting that form by hand. But it was such a good representation of how mass production has tainted how we've developed as a mainstream culture of placing price over value. This was an example of a functional piece. So what would the perception be around something that's experiential or ornamental? While not functional, it could speak to your heart and connect to your soul, as well as being the purpose of the soul of the creator, their craft being their contribution to the collective. If we had less overproduction through convenient methods, we'd value the production of the handcrafted more. I don't know how we can change that mainstream narrative around the arts and creativity in our culture, other than engaging in supporting within our capacity and living the example of value over price, living more magical moments as a majority of how we spend our days, simplifying our lives so that it is possible to do so rather than only engaging in the magic of life either side of enduring a soul-sucking poker-faced job that pays the bills but leaves us not even knowing what makes our colleagues tick, what ignites their passion in life, what fears and concerns keep them up at night because work and life are compartmentalized, which is what separates communities, rather than all communing together to combine our gifts and talents to contribute to the collective thriving as a whole. That to me is a role creativity plays. So why do we deem it as less worthy or frivolous? Creativity is the secret ingredient of the magic of living. We all have it. For so many, it's just been buried beneath the layers of expectation of what is a worthwhile pursuit over what contributes to the beauty of living. We just have to look to wild nature to see that thriving takes place when productivity is combined with beauty, as well as the process of decay and renewal. The mainstream and government perspectives aside, I think it's important as creatives to remember that what we create or offer is not meant to resonate with everyone. And we have limited capacity to serve everyone, just like a particular bird is drawn to a particular flower to consume its sweetness. We too have our target audience. And for some offerings, that may only be a handful in the grand scheme of the greater population. When we focus on creating what ignites and inspires us, then present it in locations that attract those that resonate with our offerings, then there's less need to convince someone of its worth or get caught up in the perspective of the masses. Also, when we take time to consider what success and prosperity means for us as individuals, we can make decisions that support us in our desire to offer our gifts to the collective in a way that's in alignment with what's truly important to us. And if impacting the well-being of others is a part of that, then focusing on the ripple effect of what we are offering is having on those who come into contact with it can fuel our drive to continue in creative ways that are not reliant solely on government grants. It was beautiful to witness discussions around collaborations, savvy ways retreat attendants could work together to realise their collective dreams of bringing to life projects out into the world, even if full financial support from a grant did not exist. We know the value of our creativity in our own lives and the impact it has on others. So in the same way that receiving love and appreciation in our relationships starts with us loving and appreciating ourselves first, so too does receiving love and support for the unique gifts we offer the world. It starts with developing a love and appreciation for ourselves and our gifts. The number of times I heard over that weekend that someone could not conceive not making their art. as they need to do it for themselves as much as they do it for any other reason. Making space for what serves ourselves is in fact self-love, and sharing the outcomes of our craft or the knowledge of how to do our craft with others creates a beautiful flow-on effect of self-love and love for others. So, all that said, why wouldn't we see creativity as a valuable part of our life's journey and daily practices? I believe even without government support, the industry of the arts will continue because it's full of creative problem-solving thinkers who are passionate about their gifts, and they are here to share that with the world. They will always find a way to practice their craft. So what about you? Are you making space in your daily life for creative expression? If you've set aside that which lights you up from the inside in order to fulfill obligations that simply help you pay the bills, I'd like to encourage you to rethink that and realize that when you are lit up from the inside out, you radiate a magnetism that draws towards you more of what you need to continue to thrive. Don't let your illuminated way be overshadowed by fear or doubt or whether or not what you desire is worthy or worthwhile as a pursuit. If your heart desires it, then it's a part of your calling. Not engaging in your creative gifts robs others of receiving your magic, which is a part of your contribution to the collective. I've had to remind myself of this over and over again, especially over the last few years since navigating my way through a transition unlike any I've experienced before. And any time I've opted to simply do what pays the bills, I have ended up feeling like there's really no point to my existence. But when I open up space to do that which lights me up from the inside out, I feel empowered to overcome any and every obstacle in my path that's holding me back from living my highest expression, and find it so much easier to get through those tasks that I don't enjoy so much. So until next week, stay inspired, be sure to make time for what ignites the passion inside of you, and enjoy bringing the contribution of your magic to the collective experience. Thank you so much for your time. I know how valuable it is, and I hope you got value out of listening to this podcast. If you are looking for a coach to support and guide you through your own unique journey of creating a life you love, then reach out for a connection call. And if you'd like to connect with other creative souls in person by joining us at a workshop, a retreat, or to book a unique shopping experience here at Creators Nest, I run those by appointment. So check out the website for more details. The link is in the show notes. Oh, and please leave a review. I'd love to hear any insights or inspirations that were activated in you from this podcast. And I look forward to drumming, dancing, or soaring alongside of you.